Sit it da 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 da. Sit it da 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 da. Zoom da 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 da. It's Titan in the morning. Zibba da da da. Sibba da da da. Titan in the morning. It's 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 Titan in the morning. Titan in the morning. Hi, my name is Titan Capri. I am a Black gay man living with HIV and celebrating 20 years of thriving in my diagnosis. Titan in the Morning is an inclusive space for your morning wake up. Every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. We come in and we say good morning because we love all the O's and R's and INGs. Then we grab our cups, put the topic in the cups, and then we sip. You will get a space and a place where you can be who you are just the way God made you, along with some breathwork breathing. And not to mention some movement with the Titans groove. Sit it, tat, 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 tat. So come on in to this inclusive, brave, and safe space where we like to say good morning to our village, tribe, gang, and chosen family. The place to be is right here with me. I will see you there. Good morning. Hey, y'all. Hey, wait, hold on. Good morning. You doggone right. It is Juneteenth, and I got the hair up out the hat and to the side. That's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to make sure that we good. We're going to do all of those good things. Hold on. This microphone just popped out like they want me to sing a little something because it's Juneteenth. Me. Look. We're going to get us some boots on the ground. We're going to do all the things that we're going to do. Yes, indeed. You see my pride flag? It is Pride Month, y'all. And all month we have been doing pride. That's what we've been doing. Pride, right? But we've been talking about chosen families. So today, y'all know I got a couple of individuals from my chosen family on. We're going to talk about intergenerational bonds, wisdom across queer families, right? So, y'all, I want to put this out there, right? Our chosen family is huge. It's grand. It's all of those things. We are on different levels. We are entrepreneurs. We are lovers. We are fighters. We are all the things that a family is, but it's my chosen family, right? And so I think it's important for this Pride Month in 2025 for us to really make sure that we are on it with chosen families. So I reached out to my chosen family and they answered the call, and that's what we're going to do today. So y'all grab your cups. Hey, Bullet and Flight Radio, good morning. Come on, you know I like all those O's and R's and INGs. You know I love that. So y'all grab y'all cups. I got mine. So today, because it's Juneteenth and it's Pride Month, and I am blackity black all the time, blackity black. I got my black Titan in the Morning mug. Now, it doesn't say Titan in the Morning on the mug, right? But y'all know what it is. Y'all see the logo. Y'all see it. So later on, when we do our commercials, you're going to see that there's a chance for you to go on over to the shop and grab you one. Y'all know what it is. It's Juneteenth. So come on over and grab you a cup, right? Or either grab you a mug. Now, look, I want to say this to you all because it is Juneteenth. And I know that I've been promoting it before. Hey, Sunday Rose Gold, good morning. Good morning. But I'm going to reach back here and I'm going to tell you on my site, there is a 40 ounce. It's a 40 ounce, right? Your bladder is going to have to be strong because it's a 40 ounce, right? Insulated travel mug on the site. And see, look at that. Look at that. You see me? You see me? You see it off to the side? You see me? Go on over and grab you one for your holiday. Go on over. Independence Day is coming. Memorial Day. No, wait a minute. Labor Day. All those days are coming. Go on and grab you one. But see, this is so good, right? Because when you are here in Texas and you're traveling and you go over to Buc-ee's, because everybody makes a Buc-ee's stop, you can go ahead on and put all this up in this nice old 40 ounce and it's going to stay cold all the way for your trip and all the way back. You may even go to sleep and wake up and it's still going to be ice in the cup. So go on over and do that. I will put into the comments how you can do that. Thank you all for everybody who's went over and got them something from the site, from the pop-up. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Hold on. Let me put this back up here. Wait a minute. Let me see if I got it right. Hold on. I want y'all to see the face. Hold on. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Okay, there we go. Okay. It got a little light on it. So here's the other thing. So for all of my TikTok followers, I do apologize. I'm not able to go live until the 22nd. So I want to let you all know that I'm not able to go live until the 22nd over on TikTok. So I am over here on this side. Now, enough with all that. Y'all go ahead on, grab your cups real quick, take a sip with me, right? And then we're going to get into my guest and bring my guest on. All right, you okay? It's Juneteenth. Hold on. Yes, indeed. I'm black and I'm sipping out my black cup. Yes, indeed. That's what we're doing. Now, y'all, I know that I said it's Juneteenth and I'm talking about I'm black like it's Black History Month, but I'm black 365, 24/7. So it ain't no change in that. Y'all know we're going to always talk about that. Hey, pretty Mara. Hey, Mara, good morning. You got your coffee, your cup of coffee? On my way to work to make mine, friend. Okay, come on, get your cup and come on in over there. Hey, Miss Gwen, good morning. Y'all know I love all those O's and R's and INGs. Hey, Miss Gwen, happy Juneteenth. Now, Miss Gwen, now I know it's been a little while, but if you are cooking, if you are banging some pots today, I just might need to get out there and come on over and come see you. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. Hey, Angela Hawkins. Good morning. Come on, Angela. You better give me all them O's and R's and INGs. Look, y'all, it's Juneteenth, right? It is Juneteenth. Normally, we have over here at my house, we got the pit going. Smoke is flying. I got ribs and chicken and all this other kind of stuff and some good old baked beans and all of that. I don't have none of that today. So anybody want to help a brother out? You want to help a brother out? I am taking plates. I am taking donations. And I am taking love offerings. Yes. Plates, donations, and love offerings. Okay? And love offerings. Now, lastly but not least, I want to talk to you all. It's important. The cornbread. I want to talk to you all about the cornbread. Okay? Y'all, let me tell y'all something. If that cornbread ain't a little fluffy and sweet, then we got a problem. We got a problem. I had somebody tell me, oh, it's the best cornbread ever. And they were like, oh, and we substitute the butter. You substitute the butter? What? Wait a minute. What you substituted with? Because I don't want. Y'all might not like me today, but I don't want no cornbread without no butter. Look, you heard how I said it, no butter. Look, who does that? That's like me baking a cake and I'm not using butter. So I know we got, the sugars, diabetes, and all this other stuff, hypertension and all of this stuff. But I'm telling y'all what, don't invite me. Don't give me a love offering. Don't give me a plate. Don't give me I forgot what else I said. Don't give me that. And it don't have no butter, no sugar in it. I'm just saying. Let me worry about my own health. Okay. Let me worry about whether or not I'm diabetic or I got hypertension. Don't skip out on my account. And then I want you to do this. I'm about to bring my guests on, but I want you to do this, right? For this Juneteenth, I need you to give a disclaimer if you're substituting things in the recipes. Give a disclaimer, because it's a wrong thing for me to go up in there and make this huge plate. You know who you are. Make this huge plate. And then you say, oh, it's my recipe. Well, what recipe did you get that from? That's not grandma's recipe. Because I make a mean 7-Up cake, right? So my grandmother taught me about the pound cake. Why is it called a pound cake? The ingredients, a pound. And the cake is heavy. Every time I bake a cake, I always say heavy, heavy, because it got a pound of ingredients in it. Pound cake. You know what? Y'all go do your research. It's Juneteenth. Go do your research about a pound cake. Go do your research, right? Go do your research. I'm blessed. I'm feeling good this morning. How are you this morning? Okay, y'all. So let me bring my guest on, and then we're gonna talk about some things here this morning. I've been having them in the back for a minute. I've just been running my mouth this morning, but I just want to make sure for all the people out there, this is a PSA. If you're inviting people over, please have a disclaimer that you are not using the original ingredients. Oh, and lastly, because we're going to have Dr. Sugar Trash on, lastly, make sure that you are seasoning your food. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, not feathers, feathers today, because season your food. Season your food. If you shake and you are saying, oh, it's just a pinch, and oh, I'm just gonna shake a little bit. Ooh, I got my boots on the ground. Where that seasoning at? Where that seasoning at? That's what we need to be asking people. All right, y'all. Okay, all right. I just wanted y'all to know that it's Juneteenth, baby. And Dr. Sugar Trash gonna tell you when she come on, you gotta season that puppy. You gotta season it. Both sides, down the middle and around the back. We're not talking about shaking a little bit up in the air and throwing it into it. We're talking about putting it on and patting it and making sure it's ready for that grill. You with me? Or ready for that oven? Some of us like to bake in the oven. We like to grill in the oven. That's what we do. All right, y'all. So today we're talking about intergenerational bonds, wisdom across queer families. In the series of my Pride edition called Chosen Families, I have two individuals that are a part of my chosen family. Dr. Sugar Trash, I have known for years now. Natasha Ellison, I just met a couple of years, well, maybe about a year or so ago, I'm thinking. But we have recently been able to work together and be around. And so these are two individuals that I feel that are part of my chosen family. I'm going to bring them on, let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to be good with that. So first off, I want to bring in Dr. Sugar Trask. Hey, Dr. Trask.
Morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I am blessed. I am excited. I want to thank you for having me on your platform.
Indeed.
This is a day that we all are going to rejoice as Juneteenth.
Okay. Come on. That part right there.
I want to share with you, I was raised in Minnesota. So
Mm.
have any of this that they in Texas or down in the South. I was
Uh-huh.
aware that there was issues. However, from my family members that lived in Dallas and Gilmer and Longview and Galveston, but we didn't really have that. So it wasn't until I actually came to Galveston, and that was in 91, that I was
Mm,
introduced to the heaviness of Juneteenth, the
mhm,
freedom of Juneteenth. And I just can't understand why it took so long for us to be able to celebrate uh, this event, this
mhm.
Freedom Day. You know, it's we celebrated July 4th, and we celebrate Black History Month, but
Right.
this is really something, and I'm enjoying how the city, it's now a national holiday.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
and that
yeah.
means something. That's some weight on that.
Indeed.
Excited about what's going on because it's been an entire month of Juneteenth celebrations, especially down in the Galveston area.
Yes.
I'm excited to get on and get this day going because I'm going to some of the parks. I'm going on to Discovery Green. I'm rolling down to Galveston.
Okay.
Experience this day.
Yes, indeed. I love it. And then thank you, Dr. Trash, for being festive. I see the hair. Yes. I do a little red. You do a little. Is that blue?
Blue.
Come on, that's what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. Y'all see Dr. Sugar Trask is on already talking about the significance of Juneteenth. And what we have to understand is that we live in different places and spaces. So sometimes the significance of an holiday does not affect us that way because we're somewhere else. But in Galveston, right? In Galveston, Texas, that's where they found out that slavery had ended 2 years later, right? And that's why we talk about the celebration of Juneteenth, and that's why it's significant. All right, so my next guest, my next person, my chosen family is Natasha Ellison. I'm going to go ahead and bring her in. Good morning, Natasha. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes,
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me on. And it is a great day to be alive
come
and
on.
well. So I am grateful and thankful to be here. It's an amazing time to be alive. I'll just say that. It's a lot.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I'm with you on it. Baby, you know what people always say, the old folks would always say, it's better to be seen than viewed.
Yeah.
So look, I'm feeling that here. So this is what I want to do. So what are y'all drinking this morning? Do y'all have a cup this morning? Y'all got something in your cup? Y'all got I
I'm
got some coffee in mine. You got some water? Okay.
yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
I live superfood. A
Okay.
food has all the ingredients that's in it. My cup is over to the side. I was going to pour it in the side, but I didn't. I poured in the cup. But anyway, this is what I have, the soup,
Okay.
and I'll share that a little.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for that. Yes, indeed. I'm loving it. Baby, a little agua, a little H2O. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's always good for the body. And some superfood that's good for the body. Well, I'm over here with my cup of nice old hot pipe and see, let me tell y'all something. When you can just be who you are, just be blackety black, just do what you do. That's the celebration right there. That's the celebration. Hey, the King NIC, he said, good morning and happy Juneteenth. I love all those O's and R's and INGs. Happy Juneteenth, everyone. Happy Juneteenth. So y'all know we're going to be saying happy Juneteenth throughout the show today, right? We have people that celebrate it differently and things like that. But one thing that I do know about a holiday, I'm going back to it, is the food. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay. Look, I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna leave it alone. So let me get this started. So I want to ask a question to you all. What does chosen families mean to you? And Natasha, I want to start with you, if you would. What does a chosen family mean to you?
A family that's supportive at all times, no
Mhm.
matter what's going on. A family that's able to uh, embrace all differences because
Yes.
we all come here differently. We all
Mhm.
have, we all are different, but yet the same. And I believe that some, a group of people, not may not be your actual family. It may be others, like friends. Like over the years, I've acquired a lot of friends that have become my family. And so I really believe being supportive and being there at all times, no matter what is happening in your life. You can be in a low point. They're not leaving you. They're not throwing you away. They're not criticizing you because of you going through that particular time. But they're there to help support you, uplift you, and help enlighten you to keep going. So a chosen family to me is one that brings life to me, one that we can. It's reciprocal. It's not just
Come on.
this give, and then you have nothing. I'm saying? I have nothing back. So it's reciprocal, it's loving, and unconditional love is the foundation of it all.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now I see so let me just take a pause for the cause for that, because something that she said, reciprocal, right? It means that it comes back to you. Now, don't get me wrong. We all are here and we're all on a journey, and we believe, right, that we're here for what we're here for. And sometimes it may feel or look like that you're doing all the giving, right? But in a chosen family, it should be reciprocal. In your biological family, it should be that way. In your friendships, your situationships, it should be that way as well, right? So I thank you for that, because a lot of times we put expectations on a chosen family in the sense of this is what we want, but sometimes certain individuals in our chosen families can't reach that level or can't go there, right? So that's why we have other individuals to come in and be able to give us what we need in the chosen family. Y'all saw how we brought that all the way around. Okay, look, I'm telling you, we got to support one another and be there for one another. Let me ask you something, Natasha. I see that you have Coach T, right, on your name tag. Tell us a little bit about you and being Coach T.
Well, being Coach T is being me all my life. this is this is a title, but I'm there to help people come into an awareness of who they truly are, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, because it all works together. And so, really, just helping others to embrace the truth of who they are, the divinity that they are, and truly walk this and live this work, this life out, not just to talk about abundance, but be abundance. Not just talk about freedom, but become freedom. Like, we have to really become these. We're already these things. So having us to rediscover and remember who we are. That's my mission and goal, to help bring people to themselves.
Okay, come through. Because what I just heard was spiritual guide. I just heard that basically you are there to guide. A lot of times we as individuals, and I'm going to speak to this in a chosen family situation, way, because that's what we're highlighting this month, chosen families. But I'm speaking to it because a lot of times we don't know our roles in the chosen family or on this journey or in this life until we're there, right? We're there in the thick of it, and we're like, oh, so that's what I am. Oh, well, let me go ahead and sharpen my skills and make sure that I'm prepared for what God has given me, or the journey that God has placed me on, or the blessings, right, that God has bestowed upon me. Because, Natasha, I know that I have the gift of gab. I know that I am able to, and this is not a brag nor a boast, but I know I'm able to come into a room and change the atmosphere and bring it down, bring the peace. I know that. Now, I've been doing it for years, on top of years, right? However, when you know that thing and you name it and you claim it, it's something totally different, right? That's why I wanted to say that Coach T part, right? Like, what was it in that aspect? And thank you for letting us know that's what you're here for. That's what your calling is, and that's the calling that you answered to, right? I don't want to put any words in your mouth, but that's what I feel. And I think a lot of times we need that difference. We need that level up in chosen
Mhm.
families, because not everybody's going to be able to do that. So I thank you, Coach T, for doing all that you do and bringing it to the forefront and standing firm on who you are and what you are here for. So I love that and thank you for that. Dr. Trask over there. So Dr. Trask, if you can tell me, right, or let us know, what does it mean to be part of a chosen family, or what does chosen family mean to you?
Well, I'm going to start out by saying all of us has been chosen by the Lord. So all of us is a family. Now, what you do within the chosen family
Ooh,
makes the difference. But
come on.
we're all his and we're all chosen.
Yes, indeed.
Come
Yes,
what
indeed.
and
How
you
about that?
into a family that may not be a mother, father, children, white picket fence. And you bring yourself into their situation and they choose to choose you. You're
Yes.
to be auntie and you're not family related. You're
Mhm.
chosen to be mama and you're not family orientated. I'm a mama to a lot of people, and I'm saying from little children to adults. You know,
Yes.
people. I'm 71, but I have people that's in their 60s that call me mama or call me mother. That's a chosen. So that's something to take to heart when you have been chosen. But then on the other end, when you choose, you've got to stand and be firm with what you've chosen or whom you have chosen. We choose a partner. We choose a lifestyle. We choose a job. We choose our finances. We choose where we live. So a chosen family encompasses all of that. And if that's where your heart is, and you've chosen this family to represent your beliefs, represent what you stand for, and whatever it that might be or whatever that might look like, we have to honor, we have to respect, and we have to learn to knowledge and acknowledge those that we choose to be family. Family doesn't mean blood. Family means family. You're there when I need you. I'm there when you need me. And if I don't have it, I have resources to get it. Then that's what I'm going. So thank you for letting me be part of your chosen.
Now you know what, Dr. Sugar Trash, don't make me drink no more about this cup. Baby, let me tell you, I think a lot of times we don't take chosen families seriously enough because we feel that they are there, right? And that's part of their duty to be there. But we don't know all of what Dr. Trash just said and all of what Coach T stated. That's chosen families, right? And a lot of times it's not stated on the forefront, but I've chosen you, right? Dr. Trask, I've been around her, and there are individuals that, like she said, 50, 60 years old that call her mother, right? And that doesn't mean anything. I'm part of a house of Capri. I have children that are in my same age bracket, right? But I am father to them. My daughter is 28, right? And I still call her baby girl, but she's a grown woman in that aspect, right? But chosen family, you still choose your biological family in that aspect, right? And so thank you for that, Dr. Trash, because I had to take I'm gonna take one more. Hold on. Yes, indeed. I love it. I love it. So, Dr. Trash, can you let our let our family know a little bit about you? Okay. And we see that you have Dr. Sugar Trash on your nameplate. Tell us a little bit about the doctor
Well, the
and the
doc,
things that you're doing.
yes, I can. The doctorate degree, I received that May of 2016 right here in Houston. It's an honorary doctorate degree. Theology.
Okay.
I'm from Minnesota. I arrived here in I arrived in Galveston in 91. My mother was living in Galveston, so I came down to Galveston, fell in love with Galveston, and since 91, I've been in Texas. Hurricane Ike came through, and that kind of repositioned me along with thousands of others. And I went to Texas City, Lamarck area, and then up here to the Houston area. I'm an author. I'm a TV radio personality. I work in the ministry. I'm a chaplain. I work with the Red Cross. I do speaking engagements. I have spices. I have a love for people that's not accepted by the mass.
Mm.
Always been that way. I would bring kids home from, from school or on the playgrounds because they were hungry or hadn't eaten or they were dirty or they smelled. And I'd have mama fix food or get clothes, and socks and underwear was always something that we gave out. I have a ministry, Cover the Earth, and I give out socks, underwear, and blankets. That was developed from Hurricane Ike. They gave us plenty of clothes, they gave us plenty of food, but they didn't give us. And so that's how Cover the Earth ministry was birthed, from Hurricane Ike. And I love all sports and cooking and children, babies, and the elderly. I just lost my mother a year ago. She was 98, and
Condolences.
been bedridden from a stroke. So I really dementia, the elderly, and teaching others that I'm seeing now that's taking care of their parents. So they're now just starting. I have a real good friend that's just now starting, and she has siblings, but she has chosen to be the one that's taking care of mom. No, I'd say probably 80% of the time. One does not do anything at all. She's in Memphis, Tennessee, and then the other one is local, but she's pretty active. So, now they're asking the questions, well, what did you do when mama did this? What did you do when her mind was dementia, and she couldn't remember some things? And I said, patience is the main thing. And along that, put in prayer. You cannot handle the dementia and the elderly parents without prayer. You can't handle having a chosen family without prayer. Teach me how to do this. Teach me the words to say at a given time when someone is, using all kind of bad words and stuff that's cussing out that never cursed before. That's calling you all kind of names. You've got to stop and understand. But even the word says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. I'm going to say evil things about you because I'm not knowledgeable about what you're doing, your beliefs, or what you're going through. You said that TikTok, kicked you off for a minute, and you was bringing in some coins from that, because that to me sounded biased and prejudiced. Maybe it wasn't, but they couldn't explain, what did I do?
Right.
And so many times that's what other people need to know. What did I do to cause you to feel that way about me?
Come through.
Oh, me.
Come through.
So you understand that in this life that we're living, there's going to be change. Look at this AI that we're dealing with now. I love it. I love it. I love it. I do. And look at all the, if you don't even want to cook anymore, you can go to HEB, you can go to Kroger, buy your meal already, come home and bam, there it is.
Yes.
Butter, and you may not sugar, but you have cornbread.
Okay.
Happy Juneteenth, everybody.
Yes.
The thing already ready, already queued down. You want the baked beans already, and go to the dairy and get the potato salad. Your barbecue is on.
Done.
We are in a time, like I said, I'm 71, and I'm keeping up with everything that is going on, because that way I can minister to whomever my way. Just like Coach said, Coach has been doing that since the beginning of time. She's been a big mama when she was probably 7, 8 years old.
Yes. I'm the oldest.
It shows.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you for that, Dr. Trask. Y'all, so we need to make sure now, still going back to this this food she just mentioned. She mentioned those spices, right? So Dr. Trash used to do, well, I don't know if you still do or not. However, would have the show. What was the name of your show where you were doing the cooking?
I have Cooking with Sugarlicious.
Yes, Cooking with Sugarlicious. Now, let me tell y'all something. I just want to say this. When I talked about those spices and I talked about how you put spices on your food, she was over there smacking it and rubbing it down, right? With the spices. So, y'all, what I'm telling y'all is that we know she said happy Juneteenth on that, the butter and the sugar. Look, y'all, we got to make sure that we save, right, the food. You get your spices. Now, take care of your health. Take care of your health, but make sure that you're not skipping out. But no, thank you so much for that, Dr. Trash, because a lot of times we don't understand how we are predestined to be who we are, right? A lot of times we are on this journey not knowing that the journey had already started when we were kids. My mother used to tell me something all the time. She said, you always talk to the elderly. You would always talk with elderly people, would make a beeline towards you, and you would sit there and at 5, 6 years old, you would sit there and talk with them, right? Now, I don't know if there was an understanding, on that level, but spiritually, my mama would say that I would always talk to, and I've always talked to people. I've always been one to want to know if you're okay. I've always been one to have that discerning spirit of something's just not right, in this situation. And so I truly understand that, like you said, that Coach T was already a big mama. Coach T being the oldest, already taking care of things, right? So I believe that we have these abilities, these blessings, these journeys that have been bestowed upon us, that sometimes we have to get there. We got to go through some things. We got to understand some things, like Dr. Trask said. We got to understand that there's a reason for this. So teach me, like, okay, so what's going on? Well, why is this way? Well, what happened with that? I'm gonna go back to the food. My grandmother stood in the kitchen and taught me recipes. Now, a lot of times my grandmother did not truly, right, measure things because she's been doing it for so long, right? I still can't get my fried chicken the way that she fried chicken. But now, one thing that I do is I bake that cake. And so my grandmother put the recipe down for me. And I'm gonna say this because I'm a foodie, and this is how it happens. My grandmother told me that in baking this 7-Up cake that she bakes, to put one egg in at a time. It's 5 eggs, right? Put one egg in at a time. Me trying to do what I do, I tell this story all the time. My nieces, my nephew, my daughter, they all know this story. I go and I throw all 5 eggs in at the same time. And so some people would say, well, Titan, it calls for 5 eggs. That's 5 eggs. But it's the way that you make the cake. It's a way that you go about doing things. It's a journey. And on that journey, you understand that there's love and care in what you're doing. And I don't know, and I know the three of us on here, I know that we are individuals to where we sit back and we say, okay, yes, we did it. We took the time. We took the love. We put all the love in there, and now they are enjoying what we have produced, what we have brought to the table, to the light. And so I think a lot of times we don't get that part, right? My grandmother used to sit back and watch us eat. She did all that cooking, right? And she would watch us eat. And I used to always say, well, here, grandma, well, go ahead and get this. And here, grandma, go ahead and do that. And she'd be like, no, baby, go ahead on and go on and eat. And y'all know, in a house full of children and grandchildren, this is all you will hear. That's all you would hear. But I didn't understand the love. I didn't understand the blessing of her making this meal to nourish us, right? But there was all type of love and understanding throughout the meal, from the preparation to setting the table to praying, right? To eating the food, to cleaning off the table, to getting dessert. Like, it was a whole thing. And until this day, I am still one of those individuals that I'm big on family, but I'm big on sitting down and what I call breaking bread. I'm huge on that. Anytime that we're around each other, we're going to have substance, we're going to have food, we're going to have spirit and laughter and all of the things. But I just wanted to say that because a lot of times we take that out of the equation. Dr. Sugar Trash stated that AI, right? Now you don't have to do all of those things. Now you don't have to go outside and dig it up in the backyard and bring it in and, and boil it and make sure that you don't have to do all of those things. However, the essence of life is embedded in that, right? And so, yeah, I'm gonna get off my soapbox because I'm getting a little emotional, because my grandmother passed about 3 years ago, and as a matter of fact, here in June, and I've always been that person to want to have people come together. I'm big about chosen families, but we would always sit around the table, right? We would always be around the table. And it just hit me just now that even though my grandmother's no longer here, I still have that. And someone put in the comments a ritual. I still have that experience that I want to hand down to my family and to everyone, that this is what it was. This is what it felt like, right? So I taught my nephew how to bake a cake. I taught my friends how to do the 7-Up cake the way my grandmother taught me, right? And that's passing down those intergenerational bonds. I brought it back, y'all. I brought it back. I was out there on the island for myself just for a moment, but I brought it back. And then it's the wisdom across queer families. So I make no mistake that I'm a Black gay man who is HIV positive and celebrating 20 years this year of thriving in my diagnosis. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's the wisdom that we need to hand down. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. Hey, 504 girl, good morning. But it's that wisdom that we are, it's our lineage, it's our knowledge of our ancestors, it's our knowledge of where we came from and where we're going. All of that, right, was always in the preparation of the food and us coming together as a family and sitting down, right? And I'm a back up because I want y'all to chime in and speak on what you're. So we know that Juneteenth is a day that's celebrated for the emancipation of slavery, right? That's what it is. However, we celebrate it, but we don't necessarily celebrate it in the same way, right? A lot of times we think that it being a federal holiday, which it just became a federal holiday 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I think. I think in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, I'll double check, but I think it was 2 years ago. And so people are saying, "Oh, well, it doesn't need to be a federal holiday." Well, like Dr. Sugar Trash said it, down in Galveston, people did not know that they were free until 2 years later. And so a lot of times we think that that's not knowledge or something that we need to express in this world, but y'all, 2 years after. So just imagine. Let me tell y'all something. Just imagine you staying on the job 2 hours later than everybody else stayed on the job. You know what I mean? Like, just imagine that. And y'all, I'm making light of it, right? But it is a heavy, it's a heavy topic, and it's a heavy thing because there are a lot of people that experienced that. And so I go to this because my grandmother was a maid all her life. And this is no dig or anything like that. But I saw my grandmother do things to protect and to be able to have a family, have a life. And she sacrificed a lot during that, right? A lot of hate, a lot of violence, and things like that. And so sometimes, y'all, we have to really just take a moment and think about what the significance of something is and that aspect. Because I would have never um, been someone to be like, oh, yeah, it's another holiday. I'm gonna eat me a rib and I'm gonna be good like that. But when you find out the history behind it and how nasty and violent it was, you're like, oh, wait, oh, grandma, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I'm sorry for all those times that I said you could have got up and did something and went something. All those times that your feet were aching and your head was aching and your back was aching. And I'm thinking that you just, you know, like you just living life and doing life and just having life. And I didn't know the backstory. As Dr. Sugar Trash stated, I didn't know what was going on. Because a lot of times our elders didn't tell us the meat and potatoes. They gave us a side. I'm going back to the food, y'all. They gave us a side, but they didn't give us the meat and potatoes. Okay. So, with that being said, y'all, I'm going to read some of the comments. But for the two of you here, I'm going to ask this question. What does Juneteenth mean to you? And then, how do you celebrate this newly crowned federal holiday? And Natasha, I'm going to go to you first.
Well, just like Dr. Trask said, I really didn't know about the holiday until, what they actually went through at that time until I think, like you said, it started maybe like 2 or 3 years ago that they started acknowledging it. For me, it means that we still have that for this is just me, this is me how I operate. That we still have we need to really, first of all, celebrate this freedom every single day of our lives. It's great that we have a time set up for this particular thing to happen, to reflect and remember, but we should also celebrate freedom because freedom is our birthright. This is our birthright. We have a right to be free. There shouldn't be a time that we are belittled or anything else. Yes, the people went through some things, and I understand my ancestors. They did go through some situations, and like you said, the older generation, they didn't tell. There's a lot of things I had to find out. Saying, just going through my genealogy and things of that nature. So but at the end of the day, it's a celebration of freedom, within mind, body, and spirit, because it's about your mindset at the end of the day. Mindset, whatever it is that's connected to your mindset, our bodies, we should be celebrating freedom in our bodies, in our minds, in our spirits, how we function and flow as individuals, who we truly are authentically. It is a day of Thanksgiving and gratitude. And for me, how I'm going to celebrate it is just staying in a place of gratitude. Because I don't think we don't celebrate enough. We don't celebrate our freedom enough or who we are enough. Because we, focus on the day-to-day, what's going on, what's happening, and, getting caught up with everything else that's happening all around us, but we really don't go within and look and observe and embrace the freedom that we are. And I think this
Yes,
is a time
indeed.
that we really need to embrace truly who we are, not what they said that we were, but truly who we truly are. And we are truly the children of the Most High. We are truly heirs. We're truly royal. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm coming into. And that's what I do. I honor my ancestors for their
Yes.
for their work, calling them out, like you were talking about the cooking and things of nature. My
Yeah.
grandmother, she did like made homemade rolls. I'm
Yes.
still trying to yeast
They sit
rolls.
them out and let them rise overnight. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Woo.
So my mom knows how to do it. She's still been trying to show us how to do it, but she's like, "Oh, I just throw this in, and I just throw," and you don't know how to measure it. But it's so very special because I remember my grandmother doing this, and showing us these particular things. And she never wanted to sit down. She was always helping community. She always, wanted to make sure everybody had. And I am grateful and thankful for her life and those that I didn't meet and those that I did meet, my families. And I'm grateful and thankful for them. And I just stay in a place of gratitude and honoring them in everything that I do because I know I am free because of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a better position because of them and learning and understanding all that they did and where I am today. So
Indeed. Thank you for that because, baby, look, we need to understand that free. We need to enjoy. We need to, and then especially in this current climate with these executive orders, with these things being taken away from us, we need to understand that we are free. We need to understand where we are, and we need to know what the ancestors did and how they showed up. And we need to understand that our elders are not just elders because we just call them elders. They're elders because they have substance, they have stories, they have insight on things that have happened over the years. And a lot of times we don't get that. We shut them off, right? They're even trying to take the retirement age up so that you can't, have the fruits of your labor. You've been working all these years. And my grandmother worked until she was 72 or 74, I believe. And you were talking about the dementia, Dr. Sugar Trash, and she started to show signs of dementia, right? And that was the only reason that she stopped working because she had to. But I know that my grandmother would have probably worked until she was 100 if she could have. You know what I mean? And that's just what it was because back then they had to provide for a family. And sometimes it was one person providing for that. So there is knowledge and understanding in that. And thank you for saying it the way that you stated it, Coach T, because a lot of times we have to understand that we are all in this, right? We may not feel this way or that way. That doesn't mean that we're wrong. That means that, hey, this is my experience. This is what I came through. It's a lot of things that I don't do, right? Because I lived in a house with a woman, with the matriarch of our family that literally did not get her flowers while she was here. You understand what I'm saying? So I would go out to eat with her. We would go and do things, and people would always be like, "Oh, who you with?" I'm with my grandmother. I'm with my grandmother. We over here. We doing this. I'm doing that. And so I really do like thank you for that take on Juneteenth and bringing that into the ancestors and saying like, hey, y'all, look, we got to celebrate while we're here, and we got to love one another while we're here, and then pass that wisdom on down. All right, so basically, it stated that it was actually became put on the federal calendars June 18th, 2021. It became the actual day where we started celebrating it 2022, right? So Dr. Sugar Trash, coming on over to you. And then what are your thoughts on how do you celebrate um, Juneteenth? What does Juneteenth mean to you? And then how do you celebrate this federal holiday?
Well, once again, being raised in the North, up in Minnesota, my relatives and my grandparents and cousins were down here in Dallas and Gilmer and Longview. So I had knowledge of segregation. I have had relatives because great great grandpapa lived to be 111,
Oh,
great
wow. Come on.
six. Mama was 98. Grandma was 99. Papa was 99. So
Come
we
on.
lifeline. So I was able to, as a child, hear the stories when we would come down
Mm,
summer vacation. And I was able to see all, I was born in 54. And so I was able to see and have pictures. They took photographs and stuff back then of the relatives. So, but I was able to see them. I remember them because I was able to see them. It was
yes.
story. So I never really looked at how they had to be in cotton, picking cotton and those types of things back then. I didn't look at it as hard because I was raised up north.
Right.
And we didn't celebrate any of that. We read it a little bit in the books, But in doing so, when my mother went to have me, this is real quick, in
Mhm.
February 3rd, 1954, in Dallas, Texas. The doctors told her that I was stillborn. They gave her a shot to abort the fetus, sewed her up, told her to come back in 6 days, and they would do a DNC. Okay, they would finish out the abortion. My mama knew. And they told her, you're going to feel like the baby is moving. You're going to have cramps. You're going to have contractions and the whole 9 yards. And they said, don't be worried about it. Don't be concerned about it. So mama said, I knew my baby was not dead. I knew I could feel her. I could feel her heart. And so she called my grandfather, which was her father. She's an only child that was in Muskogee, Oklahoma. This is 1954. Remember that whites, coloreds, segregation. So he drove from Oklahoma to Dallas, Texas, got my mother. They were on their way back to Muskogee, and Mama passed out. He thought she was actually had died. Went into the hospital on the east side of the railroad tracks. If any of y'all know who lives.
Yeah.
And when they took her in, it was filthy, it was dirty, it was nasty. He says, if my baby's gonna die, she's not gonna die in this fifth. Put my mama back in the car, drove her to the other side of town, rushed in, carrying my mother, gave, and they didn't even have time to say, sir, we don't, your kind has to go to the back, because that
Yeah.
was the front and the back. And he just handed, and you could see my mom was huge, handed her to the doctors, and they rushed on. They didn't say anything, and they came back and they says, your daughter is alive, your daughter is fine, your grandchild is fine, we'll have her out in just a few moments. And so it was C-section, and
Mhm.
took me out in 71
Come
years.
on, 71 years. Come on. Come on. You know what? Hold on.
So with my
Ooh.
coming down and visited, when we would go to places, they say, cousin Sheila, you can't be going in there, that's for white folks. Well, I didn't have any differences being
Yeah.
raised in Minnesota. You go in, you order your food, and you go. So they might spit in it or whatever they might be doing, it's a kitchen. And so mama had to actually let me know, baby, you can't just run to a store. You have to, there was a white lady that was coming in, and I just went on in. She says, no, you can't do that. You have to let her go in first. Well, why?
Mhm.
I wasn't raised that way. My cousins was something. They're still in Dallas. They're in Dallas. And they said, you're going to get us killed. But then I was able to witness
Mhm.
before. Now we're going on into 60 and 64. Then we got Martin Luther King and all of that was happening. So Juneteenth to me was more of an awareness. And I'm glad and proud Mama saw 98, June celebrations. And so we would always barbecue. And she would always, she would cook until she wasn't able to cook anymore.
Right.
We carried that on. Sweet potato pie. I never could get the crust like and side by side. But there
Yeah.
was something with those mature fingers. It's about the fingers. Yeah, when I season, you have to really get in there and you've got to really rub and honor and know, well, both that it was a good cow that steak came from.
Yeah.
But you just can't just slap something on and expect it to be what you want it. And see, half
Yeah.
heart, like you have, Titan, like your grandma, there was a servant's heart. Not to say she was a servant, but she had a servant's heart. And that's what you have. That's what Coach T has. That's what we have. We have a heart to serve. And it doesn't matter who we're serving, as long as we can serve. It doesn't matter who I cook for, as long as I can cook. It doesn't matter who I can speak in front of, as long as I can speak and help somebody else see the value. And this is Juneteenth. We
Uh-huh.
value,
Yeah.
and we're celebrating our value. That's what's important to me.
Yes, indeed. I want to thank the both of you for answering the question in that, because a lot of times we don't know the history when we're talking about intergenerational bonds, wisdom across queer families. I know I said queer families, but however, it's our chosen family, right? That wisdom, right? Like, I didn't know that about your mother or you in that aspect, but because my grandmother and her siblings and their mothers and fathers handed down these experiences and these stories, right? We don't know. We don't know. My grandmother used to take us to, back in the day, I don't know if you all remember Woolworth.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So Woolworth here. So I just remember my grandmother, and my grandmother was a fair skinned woman, right? Um, my great grandmother was Black and Indian, and then my great grandfather was Mexican, right? And so we have, our family is diverse, right? All shades, things like that. But I remember my grandmother having us in the store, me and my brother, two Black boys, Black bodies, right? And her being fair skinned, and people literally asking her, why are these Black babies? It wasn't, the word wasn't Black, right? You know what I mean? Are with you. And I didn't understand, like, we didn't have how we grew up. We didn't have that. You didn't talk to people. I was talking to people at the age of 5. So I thought people were people. But in this particular instance, my grandmother said, don't do that. Don't touch those white folks, right? She didn't say it then in the store, but the look that she gave me was like, don't, don't get over here. Get over here. And I remember that years later, and my grandmother said, you don't know, right? You don't know what that is. Years later, I found out what it was. But at the age of 5, or being a kid or a child, you don't understand why certain things are happening. You know what I mean? And then you're like, okay, well, what's happening? But then it's that wisdom. So 9 times out of 10, I always got the wisdom over food. It was always in the preparation. It was always in that. So both of you spoke on that today. It doesn't matter that it's Juneteenth in a sense, right? If that's not what you want to celebrate, but the celebration is that wisdom, that knowledge, that understanding of where we came from. I used to be so mad at my grandmother because she used to say, no, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. And I'm like, well, why? You know what I mean? But I didn't understand that she was protecting my Black body.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that. I'm growing. I'm tall. I'm a man, a Black man. right? I didn't understand why people would clutch their purse and move to the other side of the street. I didn't understand none of that, but my grandmother did, right? And so, y'all, I'm speaking to my whole chosen family, but I'm glad that these ladies are on today to speak to their experience and how um, being someone of color, being a Black woman, being a part of a world where Juneteenth, we wish that it didn't exist in the sense of where it came from, but we're glad that we are able to celebrate our families, our lineage, and understand that our elders, our ancestors went through some things that we don't necessarily get because we are over here with AI, as Dr. Sugar Trash said. We over here, we can scan a QR code and do this. Back then, they had to walk miles with the bags of groceries, right? Or they had to go out back and pick the cotton or the potatoes or the garden and make sure that there was food, right? I remember this, y'all, and then I'm gonna move on because we already passed time, and I apologize because I want to be cognizant of y'all time. I remember getting well water, right? I remember getting well water in the country and us making tea and lemonade and things like that. But I remember us boiling the water. You could sit the jug up on the windowsill and you
Mhm.
could see the things, right, floating around in the water. Now, some of y'all are probably going to say, Titan, okay, this is kind of nasty. Like, but no, this was real talk because we wanted to drink. So drinking water out of the faucet back in the day, on the side of the house, we had a water hose. During the summer, we would turn that water hose on, let it run for a little while, and then we would go ahead and do that. I just told my mother the other day, I said, Mama, I said, something is going on with this water. This water is hard. Like you can, like, water is not supposed to smell or things like, you know what I mean? Like you can see that. So back to my story. Anyways, my grandmother used to make they used to make the best tea and lemonade ever, right? That freshly squeezed, baby. And I used to love the pulp in it. And anyways, so I would always ask, well, why are we boiling this? Right? We just got it out the well. We can just go ahead on and drink it. But I'm not knowing that there are particles, there are things in the water. Fast forward 20, 30 years, 20 years later, well, not 20, well, maybe, yeah, about 20. I'm in the military and we're using iodine and we're boiling water. And I'm saying, well, wait, wait. So that's what that is. Like you realize that from farm to table, right?
Mhm.
There's a process. like I was part of Future Farmers of America in the country town that I graduated from, Hallettsville, Texas, and I didn't know that milk was pasteurized. Right? I didn't know that it had to go through a process. You had to filter it out.
Mhm.
I, who knew, right? So when we say wisdom, and I know I'm talking about like things with that, but I think knowledge is key, and wisdom across queer families is important. That's why I believe chosen families are important. I don't want you to be directly where I'm from. I need a little diversity. I need to understand, what you know. Like Dr. Trash said, oh, she was up north and she came down because Coach T is in Fort Worth. So Dallas, Fort Worth area, she came down here and she was like, wait, I'm walking in this store. But we saying, we saying, no, don't do that, Dr. Trash. Don't do that because baby, right? They don't take kindly to things like that down here. Like it's weird in a sense. I've had people um say things and I'm saying, well, no, no. I didn't know what racism was until I went to a predominantly white high school in a predominantly white town. Dr. Trash, you spoke about the tracks. We knew that across the tracks was the black folks. We knew on the other side of the track. So the South, was the black folks. So across the tracks, the south end was the black folks. Okay, Coach T, you see what I'm saying? Was the black folks. We knew that up north, on the north side of town, was the white folks. And there was a distinct knowledge that those two places were different. That was a distinct knowledge. And so I said all of that to like let people know that sometimes we look at individuals where they are now and we think there was no struggle, or we think there was no type of trauma or hurt or harm that was done, but we don't know. We don't know. So this wisdom across queer families is so important because we need to make sure that our knowledge is there. I'm gonna say this last thing and then I'm gonna ask the last question to you all. Here this year, we went to Austin for Road to Advocacy Day. We are advocating for HIV rights and these bills that are being passed. We're advocating for your rights in order to be. We're advocating for you to be who you are and to be things. So I want to take this moment real quick, and I want to say this real fast, because what's happening is that they are taking away our rights. They're telling us as queer individuals or those of LGBTQIA plus community that we don't have the right to show up as who we are, right? A lot of bills are being passed. A lot of things are happening right in front of our faces, and they are deterring us to this over here. That's a spectacle. But over on this side, they're taking away our rights. They're taking away our trans sisters and brothers' rights in order to be who they are, in order to just exist in this world, right? And so if you don't know anything else, while we're out here celebrating Juneteenth, right? While we're out here stating that it's something that it's a federal holiday that just became a federal holiday a couple of years ago, but Juneteenth and LGBTQIA plus communities and being Black, right, or being a person of color, all comes together, right? Mm-hmm. If they're going to take away a right over here for a Black individual, they're taking it away for our LGBTQIA plus community. Because I'm a Black man, right? I'm a Black gay man, right? My intersections, they're taking away those rights. And a lot of times what we think is because it's not directly affecting us, quote unquote, I'm gonna use air quotations, right? That we don't need to fight for it. And I want to say today on this show, with these two spiritual powerhouses sitting here giving you knowledge and wisdom, that we need to keep this going. That's why I felt that it was a need for us to do Chosen Families here in Pride Month, but continue on, but also show the different facets. That knowledge that Dr. Trask gave about her mother, I don't know if you heard, they sewed her back up. That, how horrific is that, right? And that's trauma, right? That we cannot take away from somebody. That trauma, the book, Your Body Tells a Score, or Holds a Score, trauma is ingrained in us, right? And a lot of times we don't know that. Then Coach T talked about, hold up, my ancestors, we're free. We're free. This is what it is. Spiritually, I'm here as a guide. I'm going to reach back and I'm going to talk to my ancestors and things like that. But we're kings and queens, right? We are royalty, wisdom. We need to know those things. So y'all, when I'm doing this, these shows, I'm always trying to up the knowledge and understanding and catch that wisdom, because sitting at the table with my grandmother, sitting in the car, even up until the point where she was well on into dementia, there were moments of clarity that I would call them, that she would speak on things. And I was like, wait a minute, wait a minute, you've been over there faking the whole time, because baby, what's going on? But I understand it. Something would activate her, right? Just to where she would go back to that part. It got bad when she didn't know who I was or who my mother was, things like that, right? But it would come in waves. And so a lot of that wisdom and knowledge, how do you handle it, right? I had individuals ask me, how did you handle it, Titan? Well, this is what I did. This worked. My grandmother was very much church going woman. She was a woman of God. So we would sing all the time. We would sing all the time. I would sing her favorite hymn or her favorite gospel song, right? And we would sing, and we would always, she loved sandwiches and burgers from Burger King, right? She loved a Whopper. Loved it. Just no onions, but she loved a Whopper. And so I would always fix her a sandwich. I would say, you want a sandwich? I would love to have one. And then I would, sing her gospel song while I'm making a sandwich, and then while we're sitting down, and I would eat with her, right? And it would be those moments of clarity during her dementia that I was like, oh my God. Now, don't get me wrong, it tugged at my heartstrings because I could see the decline happening in front of me. But that wisdom, right? Although she may not have figured it was wisdom for queer families or chosen families, but I, as a queer individual, that wisdom was key for me. That wisdom was something that I needed, right? And it's something about someone being sick and you being the caretaker that adds a whole nother spiritual piece to that experience. You really don't know what that is. Okay. So y'all look, I got a little off. I know we're past time because I'm over here just talking. Y'all have brought out this thing in me today, and I'm just like, I just want to talk. And I know that I can, but let me go ahead and ask the last question, and then we're going to get out of here. I didn't do the commercial part, but y'all, we're here. Matter of fact, let me do that. Are y'all okay with just a couple of more minutes? Are y'all? I want to be okay, respectful of your time. So let me run the commercials real quick because we took some time on these commercials, and so we just want to make sure that we celebrate what they are and things like that. And then y'all can go over and check out my shop and grab y'all a little 40 ounce. Y'all saw the 40 ounce up there, but also a Titan in the Morning mug. I got candles, socks, all of those good things over there. Go on over and check it out. So I'm going to do these commercials. I'll be right back. It'll probably be about a minute and a half, and then we'll be back. Thank y'all for being patient with me over here, because I'm like, what's happening? What's going on? Hold on. Let me make sure I got it. All right. Hi, my name is Titan Capri, and I would love to introduce you to the Titan Capri Experience merch. Have you been over to my shop to see all the wonderful items that I have for you? Let me tell you, I have the Titan in the Morning mugs, socks, tote bags, candles, and t-shirts. I even have a Titan Capri Experience insulated 40-ounce travel mug. Yes, I did say 40 ounces. So hop on over and check out all the goodies that I have for you. Also, if clicking the link is not for you, you can scan the QR code and it will take you to my TikTok shop where you can do all the shopping that you would love to do. Go on over and check me out. For the link, the QR code, but either way, it will take you to the destination, which is my Titan Capri Experience shop. See you there.
Please join host Titan Capri for Titan in the Morning on Bulletin Flight Radio. Your story, our station.
All right, y'all, we are back. Let me tell you, So, so Dr. Sugar Trash, I saw that you were trying to capture the QR code.
Yes.
Let me put it on the screen for everyone. That way we can have it. Hold on a second. Let me make sure because I want to. I think I'm gonna put it up and pause it on the code, and it will take you to my TikTok shop where you can do all the shopping that you would love to do. Go. Well, that wasn't what it was. Hold on. Dr. Sugar Trash. I'm sorry about that. I was like, wait a minute, that's my QR code, but that's the actual what's today. Hold on. I got you. Gonna make sure that we are good. All right. While I'm doing that, so let me ask. I'm gonna pull the QR code back up. Let me ask you, as being my chosen family, being my guest, is there anything that you would like to express to the guest about what's going on in the world, Juneteenth, intergenerational bonds, anything that you would like to highlight? I want to give you a chance to go ahead and highlight anything that you would like for us to know in this moment. And I can start with Coach T, Natasha. Is there anything that you would like to highlight or bring to the forefront?
Family is definitely important, like we were talking about today. Knowing who you are is important. The truth of who you are. Knowing your lineage is important. I've known that now to understand certain things of why certain things are happening, like traumas that have been passed down from generation to generation. So um, just knowing your overall family history, I think we need to really do a deep dive. I know a lot of us have not done that, and I think it's necessary and needed for where we're going and what's
Mm,
happening in this time that we're living in, because there's a lot of transition, there's a lot of change that's taking place, and we have to be centered. We have to know who we are, understanding that we're taking our power back, not allowing any and everything to dictate how we function and flow as the truth of who we are, the individuals that we are, the children of God that we are, and so and let nothing else tell you you're less than.
mm.
Um,
Yes,
you
indeed.
really, 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 really have to embrace yourself, love yourself unconditionally every single day of your life. It's not just a one-time deal. You have to really go in and embrace truly who you are, because truly who you are is necessary and needed for this now that we're in. So if you're light, be the light. If
Okay.
you're here to speak life and be the wind of God, be that, because
Yes.
we need you. People need you in this hour. I need you in this hour. We need each other. We are in this together. Each and every one of us are mirrors of each other. So um, embrace you and know you and be everything that you have been created and designed to be. Don't be anything less than that. And
Yes, indeed.
that is all that I have. I know I'm probably went far out, but this is how
Mm.
this is who I am, and I'm here
Yes.
to help us to embrace um, the come into the whole of things, come into the wholeness of who you are, not just half of who you are, but the whole, because everything is necessary and all things work together. So for the
Indeed.
good comes out of all of it, and we're good. So
Indeed. I love that. And thank you for that because I am a pusher and a believer of being who you are, showing up in your authentic self, right? And a lot of times it takes some time for us to do that. But I say this all the time and I joke about this. I said three things that I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna be cute and smell good, and I'm gonna talk my ish. Those are three things that you can depend on Titan to do. Now, I'm not gonna go nowhere and be out there pop, 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 and I don't know nothing. I'm gonna show up, right? I'm gonna be cute and smell good, but then I'm gonna talk my ish, right? And it took me a while to get there because I thought that the world wanted to see a different version of me, a clean and polished version of me that is without trauma and stigma and things like that. And what I found out was that where my blessings where my gifts from God are right there down in the ditch and covered in mud. That's where I thrive. And so if I'm going to be that, then I'm going to be that. And it took me a while to get to that point. But thank you for saying that, because sometimes we don't like portions of ourselves. And then we don't want to celebrate who we are because we don't like those portions. Right. And it's all because of somebody's perception of what those portions are. Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna give it over to Dr. Trask, and then we're gonna put the QR code up so people can go on over. But Dr. Trask, let us know, give us something that you would like for us to know, drop us some knowledge, whatever it may be. I'm here for it this morning.
Well, my takeaway from this morning has been very enlightening, simply because I didn't know really what to expect talking about Juneteenth.
Yeah.
But then, as you helped out with the cooking, you helped out clarification, clarity, it came out that without having the knowledge of why we're celebrating this day, because some people are looking at it as it's just a day off.
Okay, it's just some barbecue.
Yeah, that's all. I'm just having I don't know nothing about what's going on, that kind of stuff. But then we talked about that chosen family. And a lot of people, I have a niece that was married to a woman. The young lady that I am a nanny for, both her uncles have same-sex partners. And this is from a very large family. And the acceptance of how their family accepted both brothers. One of them is her twin.
Yeah.
It was just always so heartening. It touched my heart every time I would go. And I mean, I've been with the family 20 some years, so it's been a long time.
Right.
But see how they were accepted. And then their church family accepted them because he's a great chef. They're in California, Sonoma, California.
Come on, food.
And great chef, great chef. Did a lot of big catering events. And how everybody accepted them. Sure, there was one or two in the corner. Oh, is that his boyfriend? Oh, sugar, is that it? And I'm thinking, yes, that's his partner. I said, go talk to him. And that was go talk to him. Even with my niece, go talk to them. Find out what's going on. And you find out there's more love in their heart. Because see, all of this is about a heart thing. Juneteenth, it's about a heart thing. It's where your heart is. And what you're going to do with your heart. We're celebrating something that's not of your culture. And to be able to know that you have the ability to change, to choose, to honor whomever you want to, whenever you want to. And again, back to AI. You don't know something about something, write it in, AI it in, and it's going to come. Let them know I need 50 words on how to express my feelings. Boom.
Come on.
Mental health didn't get discussed. But again, it's something that's freedom. We're talking about Juneteenth. If you have that issue, you think someone has that issue, you've co-worker dealing with the issue, mental health is nothing to be ashamed of. That taboo went out the door with the taboo went out with HIV. So that you could be having mental health. I've just gotten over 14 months of severe depression and mental. Praise God. I didn't go back and relapse. I'm celebrating 28 years of sobriety.
Yes.
When I lost my mama last year, oh, I could have went back.
Mhm.
God, you chose me. I didn't choose you. You let me be here 71 years. You let me have my mama for 98 years of her life. I celebrated my first birthday in 71 years, y'all, without my mama. But I relapsed. I didn't go back because I know who I am. I know whose I am. And if I keep my heart right, no matter what the circumstances is, I'm going to always be on top. I'm going to always win. Why? Because I'm a winner. I am a winner.
I'm a
And
winner, baby. Yes.
I am a winner. But I do have some information I'd like to
Sure.
share with the audience. Saturday, June 21st, that's this Saturday coming up, we are celebrating Become Your Brand. And that's at the Hilton, the 2101 Post Oak at 10 o'clock in the morning. You can have your own brand. If you've always wanted, like I'm going because I want to rebrand Sugar Spices. So I'm going
Ah,
learn how to rebrand. Maybe you already have a business, but it's not really what you want. It's a free. So you'll have to RSVP. So you want to www.rsvpnow.com and register. That's all you have to do. Be there. That's again Hilton, South Post Oak at 10 o'clock. This Saturday, and then also Saturday evening, I am being honored by Behind the Veil, Dr. Yolanda Sherman, out there at Restoration City, 7620 FM 521 at 5 p.m.
absolutely.
I'll be honored. Yours truly will be honored. And that's something that I'm really celebrating because, again, it's in the freedom and it's during Juneteenth month, Juneteenth week, actually. And so those are two things. And just remember, tune in to something good is about to happen.
Okay, indeed. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Sugar Trash. I love that. Congratulations on all of the things that are happening for you and for Coach T. I really do appreciate you all coming on and being on. And a lot of times it's 8 in the morning Central Standard Time, and it's a little early, but I'm thankful that chosen families can come together, support one another, and be here. And thank you all for the wisdom that you have embedded today, that someone needed to know that. I had a couple of comments that we can't see on screen, but they sent over to me. They said they are heartfelt about your situation, about what happened for your birth, Dr. Trask. And then they just want to send peace and blessings to you on being 71, right? Being 71 after all of that happened. And then stated, thank you so much, Coach T, for asking us or letting us know that it's okay to be who we are, and to show up in your whole self. They also said, thank you, Titan, for having this platform. And you know what, y'all, I'm going to say this. Let me put up the QR code, but I'm going to say this really fast, because while the QR code is up, I'm going to say this because, y'all, I wanted to stop this. I didn't want to do this anymore, right? And I had to take a break. I had to take a break. I had to reevaluate. I had to really check in with myself. And as Dr. Trask stated about mental health, I started having mental health sessions. That's what I call them, right? I call them mental health sessions. And with these mental health sessions, a lot of things were brought up. You know how they say the old saying is you open up a box, and we can say Pandora's box if we want, but what you take out the box never fits back in the box. And so you're over here trying to tape it up and it's busting at the seams and all of this stuff like that. So in a moment of clarity this morning, and this is some wisdom that I want to impart, it's okay for you not to want to do something, or you feel that this is time for you to not let it go, but reevaluate what it is and where it is in your life. Sometimes on our journey, we have to let things fall like leaves on a tree. Sometimes we have to let them go, right? And there were a couple of comments this morning about individuals having biological families that didn't want them, and then having chosen families that were there for them and remain there for them. I'm saying this like this. I thought that I was going to do Titan in the Morning, and it was going to go through the stratosphere, and I was going to be on primetime TV and do all of these things. And this is what it is. That's still right. That's still what I want to have happen, and then what I believe is going to happen, right? However, real life happened. I was life, and life was life. And so sometimes it can be monetary. You don't have the finances to do the things that you want to do. Sometimes you don't have the mental capacity to do the things that you want to do. Sometimes your physical body just can't go there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe, and I believe Coach T stated it, I believe in the mental, emotional, and spiritual support that you need in order to be who you are. God didn't make a mistake. I had to realize that. And then I had to realize that I belong here. So I took a break. It was going to be a week. And I said, oh, well, I'm going to come back. Titan in the Morning. It's going to be better than ever. I'm going to take a week. It was almost 2 months that I took because I listened to my spirit, to my body, to, as Dr. Sugar Trash said, my heart. I listened to it and said, okay, Titan, you want to do this, right? Let me be real with you. I need all of y'all out there just to come here just for a second. Let me be real. My spirit said, you want to do this? Let's be real. It didn't work out the last time that you did it that way. What are you going to do differently? And then let's be real. If you're going to do this type, is this something that you're going to be able to sustain? Are you going to be able to? Let's be real. Because what you don't want to do is put out some half stuff. You don't want to put out something that's not done cooking. You don't want to pull that cake out of the oven before that bell dings or before you don't want to do that with that. And y'all, whew, these ladies today have got me to a point because I'm just so I want to talk to those of you out there who want to do it. You may not look like the other influencers. You may not have the 100K followers and all of those things that the other influencers have that you're looking towards, right? You may not have the ability to do $1 million production, but you do what you're able to do, but you make sure that you're doing it for you. You make sure that you are prepared. You make sure that if you wanted to look cute and look good, that's what you do. But you make sure that you do it, right? Within the confines of what you are capable of doing.
That's right.
And the thing that I'm capable of doing, and I'm sure that these ladies will contest to it, is me being me. Period. That's it. That's it. Y'all, I'm so elated this morning. I've been just happy all month. Things have been happening. God has been telling me, you stay on this course. This is your course. This is what I have for you, right? And you be real with yourself. It's not going to always feel good. It's not going to always be roses and fragrances and all of that. But if I'm real about where I'm at, real about where I'm going, and real about the fact that I belong here and God did not make a mistake, I'm good. All right, y'all. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for y'all. Thank you for all of my guests. so far. Thank you for these ladies this morning. I am overwhelmed with emotion because I literally was done. I literally was done. And not that I was harming myself, but let me say this last piece. I wasn't physically harming myself, but mentally, spiritually, I was stifling myself. So therefore I was harming myself because I wasn't letting all the things that God gave me out. All of these blessings and abilities, I was not letting them out because somebody told me, right? Somebody told me that I don't belong, that I'm too old to be doing this, that I don't have the followers, that I don't have this and I don't have that. And I'm sitting here saying, no, but okay, well, maybe I don't. Maybe I need to give this up. Titan, you're 54 years old this year. What are you doing? Right? Titan, you are 20 years HIV positive. What are you doing? So, okay. I'm going to go ahead on and end this. Ladies, if you all can stay on just for a moment after we end the show. But I want to say that thank you to you all for coming on. I appreciate you. I hold space for you. Thank you for supporting me in the way that you do and being a part of the chosen family. And I just want to say thank you. And I wish you well on all that you're doing. I'm here to support, but I just want to say that you are a blessing and I appreciate you for being that blessing. So until next time, everyone, I'm sorry, Coach T.
No, I just want to thank you for being you. Thank you for allowing this space to happen and not
Thank
giving up.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on here today. It was truly amazing. And so I
Yeah.
know that it will go far. This is going far.
Indeed. Thank y'all so much. And y'all hold on just for a second. So everybody, it's every Tuesday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's Titan in the morning this month. And so next week, right, I got a closeout week of Pride. But let me tell you what I have going on. So next week, we have a couple of guests coming on, but we're also going to celebrate National HIV Testing Day on the 27th. And then I have Mahalo on the 24th. On the 26th, I have Benita Ray and Tana Pradia on. Both are pillars of the community, mothers, as I call them, of the community. We was talking about Dr. Sugar Trash. They are mothers of the community. They are pioneers. They are with the Texas Strike Force and PWN, Positive Women Network. So I'm going to have that. But on the 27th, on National HIV Testing Day, I'm going to have TNA, the Normal Anomaly, on. They're going to come on. We're going to talk about National HIV Testing Day, but we're going to talk about other things and we're going to get into the nitty gritty. So next week, closing out Pride Month, we're going to have all of that going on. So y'all tune in. You'll be seeing the flyers and everything there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. This month, we're talking about chosen families. And today's topic was intergenerational bonds, wisdom across queer families. And y'all, we imparted some wisdom today. And I thank y'all so much. Hold on, ladies. We're going to leave up out of here. Give me a second. I'll talk to y'all later. Indeed. Okay, ambitious one. Yes, our mothers. Those are our mothers. Yes, indeed. Of our chosen families, baby. They hold us near and make sure that we're good. Until next time, y'all be great. Y'all be wonderful. I want to say this last thing here. There is a constant in this world, which is love. But we need more self-love, love of self, right? In order for us to go forward and to make it. There's a constant, but I want to say this to you all. I love you right where you're at in this moment. In this moment. No expectations. You ain't got to ask for it. You ain't got to return it with a receipt. I love you right where you're at in this moment. Okay? In this moment. Until next time, y'all be great. Talk to y'all soon.
Love you. Thank you.
Love you. Y'all stay. Hey, we had a good time, didn't we? We would like to thank you for tuning in today and thank you in advance for tuning in the future. If you would like to contact me for any questions, comments, and/or concerns about the show, the community that I serve, and the advocacy work that I'm doing, please scan the QR code above or send an email directly to titan.capri@gmail.com. Now, if that doesn't work for you, just put Titan Capri in any search engine or bar, and I am sure that you will find it. Until next time, y'all be great.